a massive, highly diverse, and multi-religious population. That massive economic output became a magnet. Drawn by the lucrative spice and textile trades, European merchants began establishing heavily fortified trading posts along the Indian coastline. The British East India Company leveraged its private army to transition from trade to outright conquest. By pitting local rulers against one another, they systematically stripped regional kingdoms of their sovereignty and drained the wealth of the subcontinent. The total subjugation under the British Raj created a side effect the colonizers hadn't anticipated. By forcing absolute control over thousands of distinct communities, the British handed a deeply fractured subcontinent a single, unifying enemy. Resistance erupted in 1857. Soldiers, peasants, and local nobility launched a pan-regional rebellion against British forces. It was brutally crushed, but it proved that coordinated, cross-cultural opposition was possible. Decades later, the Indian National Congress shifted its tactics entirely. Mahatma Gandhi engineered a strategy of mass, nonviolent civil disobedience. By organizing strikes and boycotts, he aimed to economically and administratively paralyze the colonial infrastructure. While Gandhi galvanized the public, leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru focused on the institutional endgame. Nehru maneuvered through intense political negotiations, actively mapping out the secular, state-building framework required to actually run an independent nation. But the political movement was far from a single monolith. Leaders like Subhash Chandra Bose completely rejected the nonviolent approach, forming armed military units to fight the British head-on during the chaos of World War II. Ultimately, the sheer scale of civilian mobilization became impossible to suppress. Exhausted by the long war and facing millions of citizens refusing to comply, the British Empire conceded independence in 1947. But full sovereignty carried a devastating toll. The drawing of new borders triggered the bloody partition of India and Pakistan, uprooting millions and proving that the birth of the modern nation was forged in profound trauma. In the aftermath, India faced a critical choice. Rather than reverting to the familiar historical models of regional monarchies or strongman dictatorships, leaders like Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel worked to integrate hundreds of fractured princely states. In 1950, India formally adopted a constitution and became a democratic republic. That democratic foundation provided the stability for the country's modern trajectory. Over the next 7 decades, India constructed a massive domestic economy, launched an independent space program, and built one of the most prominent tech sectors in the world. The modern election cycle is the direct inheritor of that legacy. The polling stations, the massive lines, and the fierce political debates are the contemporary mechanisms used to balance the diverse regional identities that have existed here since the Mahajanapadas. When hundreds of millions of Indians cast their ballots, they are rejecting thousands of years of imperial rule and colonial administration. It is a continuous, active choice to maintain the largest democratic experiment in